It is. They're just annoying. I mean, I think West Ham fans, it was just like Tottenham fans annoyed them. And it was strange for me because when I played for West Ham, and the first thing I'll say is that as an Aussie, when you come over there, it's all like when I went to France, it was your rivalries there. Because you come from so far away, you don't sort of get it. You get it, but you go, it's not ingrained in you, so you don't grow up with it. And you'd think, geez, that's really, wow, geez, they really care about this game. Geez, I'm going to run a little bit extra in this game. And that doesn't matter. That didn't matter wherever you played. But where I lived at Chadwell Heath, I stayed in the Swallow Hotel before I found.
The Swallow Hotel in Waltham Abbey. Oh, fine establishment.
Yeah, that's right, Waltham Abbey. Very famous. All the players stayed there.
All stayed there.
Everyone stayed there, and I spent a lot of the away teams were staying there as well. So I remember when I signed, it took me a couple of months because I signed just a week before the season. When Harry pulled me he actually pulled me out of the Charity Shield, which would have been my second. We were playing Everton, which we lost to a Vinnie Samways goal, but Harry was interested, and Ray Harford, who'd taken over from Kenny, was never a big fan. God bless him. Great man, Ray Harford. But he wasn't my biggest fan. Kenny brought me in, and Kenny left in the summer. So, when Ray said, Harry wants to talk to you, that just means one thing. Because if you don't, you'll never know. If they don't want you to leave, they'll never tell you. So and it's funny, that came again with Harry later on, but we'll probably get to that. Anyway, so I moved to a place called Woodford Green. And it was funny, Teddy Sheringham lived just up the road, and it was Dan Lazaridis didn't live far away, and he was about to get injured, but there was a lot of Tottenham players, and we used to drink at a place called the Castle. Yeah, the Castle, still there. The white, it's still there, is it? Big white. Yeah. Funny nights in there, and anyway, quite often it'd end up the West Ham players and some of the Tottenham players. So obviously not all the players, but there'd be like 5 or 6 of us and 4 or 5 of them, and it was funny. And we didn't really mix that much with them either in that respect. So I don't know if that was a West Ham thing. But when we played them, you could feel that extra bit of tension, no doubt. Well, you also got it because if you didn't play well against it, you'd soon hear it from the chicken run. Yeah. Come on, Slater, you bloody hopeless. Run faster. I remember one game, this is a true story, right? Moncur nearly fell over on the field. So we're playing Nottingham Forest. No, we weren't. We're playing, was it? Yeah, it must have been Forest. Yeah, it was. Anyway, it's really not important who was playing. But anyway, we start well, game's okay. And I score. I think it was about the 27th minute. It ends up a 1-0 game. We win 1-0. We're hanging on a bit at the end. But I was playing okay. I opened the game up, and then I think it was pretty close to half-time. I had another chance where I think I crossed the ball, and I'd scored the only goal. So I was all right. I was playing on the chicken run side. And I remember John Moncur's played this ball. He's come from, I think Dixie played it into Bishop. He slided it to John Moncur, who's just hit it first time out to me. And it's sort of bouncing along, and I'm wide right. So I'm looking, and I've had a little look. I've taken my eye off the ball. It's bobbled over and gone out for a throw-in for them. And then, sometimes in a ground at the old bowling, it just went silent. Yeah. So you could hear a pin drop. So I've gone, shook myself up and got back to get back into place. And someone in the chicken run, some geezer stood up and he goes, "Oi, Slater, earn your money." Earn your money. Even the Forest players were like gagging because it just echoed the whole over the ground. And Monk's nearly fell out. He nearly doubled over and laughed. And I sort of stood there. You just felt like a twat. You just standing there going, "Oh, sorry." And in those days, of course, you could turn around and pretty much pick out the guy who shouted it to you. Yeah. We actually went to the Swallow, where I'd eventually stay before finding a place. And Harry sat down, as Harry does, and he's so easy to talk to, and he's so likable. I mean, you like him straight away when you meet him. Yeah. And, we talked a little bit about Australia and about him. He says, he looked at me, he goes, all right, Robbie, says, we know you've got a bit of quality. And then he says, I want you to come down. I really want you to run that right-hand side for me. I looked at him and I went, okay. And anyway, I'd basically made up my mind, and we basically agreed there without even talking terms. I mean, it was a bit like that in those days.
Yeah.
I mean, the money was good. We earned good money for playing the game we loved, but it's nowhere near what it is today, obviously. No, but it was great. It was a great time to play the game. And, for me personally, it was another move in my journey. And, if Kenny had stayed at Blackburn, I probably would have stayed. And actually half had said later, because Blackburn didn't have a good season that season, he said he shouldn't have let me go because they had injuries afterwards. But anyway, for me, it was a great move. Got to live in London and meet some real characters.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the first ones I met was a guy called Barry Silkman.
Yes.
It was going to the gym at the Wolf, maybe Silky.
Silky.
I mean, what a character. I mean, just a character like you'd see it out of a movie, the way he talked, the way he moved, and lots of others, like characters within the team, and going to training was always an experience because you never knew who you'd see when you walked into the training ground, and people sitting there eating bacon and eggs. I think one morning I walked in with Stan Lazaridis and Marco Burgers. Remember?
Of course, yes.
What a story that was.
Yeah.
And Marco was complaining about something in the car the whole way to the friggin' training ground. We'd stand it had enough. So we got out of the car. And the reason we traveled, because we all lived, like Marco Burgers literally lived 3 doors from me, and Stan just lived that. So we used to carpool.
Yeah.
I walked in one morning and there was smoke everywhere. Someone was smoking in the train. Right near I could see some of the boys on the treatment tables, and there was just smoke everywhere. I mean, just different days. You would never see it, and characters that had come. And I remember at games, one game I went upstairs. I got a players man of the match, and I think it was against Tottenham, actually. In the different suites.
Yeah.
I walked in and Rod Stewart was there, and another time I went up and George Michael, I think, was there, and it was just an unbelievable. And there was a lot of people that came from that show. What was
EastEnders?
Ricky.
Yeah,
Ricky.
yeah, EastEnders. Yeah.
And it was just that was West Ham. It was just an unbelievable club, and you just never knew who you would.
Yeah.
Who you would see or meet, and the team I played in was full of characters. I mean, Darnie, the pretty boy. When Harry said quite famously, he said, well, to be honest, defenders don't know whether to kiss him or kick him. And we laughed about all that. And of course, there was the Romanian contingent. I mean, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Radiochoia and
Dimitrescu.
And Dumitrescu.
Yeah.
And Harry loved him,
Yeah.
And we had characters like Ian Dowie, who was brilliant and such a great guy. But at training, Harry loved technical plays. That's why he loved Bishop and Moncur. And when we do shooting training, see, Downer, his strong point wasn't really his touch and that. He was good in the air. He was strong. Yeah. But sometimes in shooting, he could have a bit of a, the ball might go here or there. Anyway, we were shooting one day, and Harry was watching. And I always remember he went up and Dumitrescu had a shot, I think, and he's fizzed it into the bottom of the goal. You see Harry, it's lovely. And then I think Moncur got up, great technique, and he curls one in. Beautiful technique, lovely. And then Big Downer and someone laid the ball off. It was just one of those, you play the ball, they lay it off and you shoot. Anyway, someone's giving him a dodgy ball and he's in it, and it's gone sky high, flying over the bar. And Harry's like that. He's going, poor technique.